All right, January budgets. Who's ready? Let's do this. In today's video, I'm going to give you a sneak peek inside our January 2020 budget, and I'm going to show you the system we use every single month, which has been hugely successful in helping us to budget better. And if we haven't had a chance to hang out before, my name is Nikki and I am a frugal living and family finance blogger, and I love sharing tips and tricks to help you budget better, demolish debt, and basically get more bang for your buck so you can live the life that you want. Alright, so the Cliff Notes version of our story is we're a pretty average Australian family of 5 who went from a lifetime of making innocent but pretty silly financial decisions to paying off $73,000 worth of debt in just 22 months using simple everyday budgeting tips and frugal living hacks that pretty much anyone can follow, which are all the things that I share with you here on my YouTube channel or over on my blog at nikkibeal.com. So if you want to learn how to budget better, demolish debt, skyrocket your savings, and smash your goals, then be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. And don't forget to tick that little bell so you can be notified when my new videos come out. All right, let's get started. Let's have a look at what is happening in our budget for January 2020.
All right, let's jump in and have a look at January's budget. Now, this is actually a budgeting system that we've developed after a lot of trial and error, after using other budgeting systems and printables that just didn't work for us. So the first page that you see here is our snapshot page. And this gives us an indication of exactly where we are at the beginning of each month. And the snapshot really helps us see the progress that we're making and keeps us focused on our goals. And it also makes future planning so much easier because I can quickly and easily refer back to earlier months to see what is actually happening. The things that we like to track on our snapshot page are our sinking funds, which you can see over on this side, and our savings accounts, which we have on the opposite side. Now, when we were paying off our debts, we actually had a section over here that tracked all of our debts for us. We also like to keep tabs on our retirement funds, which and in Australia we call them superannuation, but they are retirement funds. And we also like to keep tabs on our net position. At the moment, our main goal is to build wealth. So this is one of the main things that we are tracking month to month to see that we're actually making some progress over the years. Now, I also use this section down the bottom here to track any bills that are due. And this section is actually really handy because I can refer back to this later on down the track and I can see what might be coming up, say next January, or I could use last January's snapshot page to give me a bit of an indication of what is going to be coming up this January. So this is a really handy feature, particularly once you've been using this snapshot page feature for a little while. Now, the most important part of this page is probably our goal setting section. Shan and I sit down every month and have a money date, which is where we talk about our money and we agree on our budget. And we also talk about our goals and the things that we'd like to work towards. So we have a big section here in the middle of our snapshot where we can actually write down the main goals that we're working towards. And we have a section where we can break that down into monthly chunks or targets, so we know exactly what we're trying to work towards. This really helps us stay focused and stay on track with our big financial goals. And when we sit down and actually do our monthly budget, we have our goals at the forefront of our minds so that we're really focused on what it is that we're trying to achieve. This next page is our monthly spending plan. That's where we decide exactly what we want to spend each dollar on. Now, you can actually use this printout regardless of what type of budgeting framework you are using. We use a priority-based, goal-driven budget, and I have a blog post that explains all of that, which I will link in the description below. But honestly, you could use this printable with any kind of budgeting system that you're using. If it's a percentage-based budget or just a basic zero-based budget, this actual printable will work with any kind of system that you use. This page, the monthly spending plan, is simply the page where we plan out what we're going to do with our money this month. Now, one of the things that I should point out too is that we actually do a month ahead budget, which means we actually stockpile all of our income from one month to be used in the next month. So what you'll be seeing us allocate in today's video is actually the income from December that we just stockpiled in our holding tank account. That's an account that we have specifically set up just to have all of our income go into, and we don't touch that money until the start of the next month. So the money that we're allocating today was all earned and received in December, and all of the money that we receive in January will be stockpiled for us to use come February 1st. And you don't actually have to do that sort of budget to use this printable either. If you use as a monthly budget, or if you're doing a paycheck to paycheck budgeting style, this system will still work. There is actually a third page which we don't use because we do a monthly budget and we only do our budgeting once. But there is a third page which comes with this download that you can actually use to break up your monthly spending plan into your payday allocations. So I should probably just point out there, if you guys actually want to try this printable out for yourself, you can snag a copy for yourself for free over on my blog. Simply head over to nikkibill.co/budget blueprint and you can download a free PDF version of this printable. I will put that link in the description box below. So once we have agreed on our goals, then we're going to begin allocating our money. And we actually have a couple of tricks up our sleeves that make creating our monthly spending plan really quick and easily. The first thing we do is we actually work off what we call a master budget, which is an averaged budget of all of our expenses over a 12-month period. Now, we could just use that sort of budget, and we did try to use that in the past, but we found that we had to keep making adjustments to it each month because each month is always slightly different. What we decided to do was use our master budget as a guide and then tweak the numbers each month as needed. The other thing that we do is we do utilize sinking funds, which is saving in advance for any upcoming expenses. So we always have money available to pay our bills. The way that we work out what's going to go into our sinking funds is that we look at our costs over a 12-month period, and then we just divide that by 12 and allocate that amount into our budget. Using sinking funds really helps smooth out our budget, as we're always putting away the same amounts each month to make sure that we have the funds available when any of our regular ongoing expenses come out. So we don't have any big, huge surprises with big bills that may come out yearly, like registration, or big quarterly bills like electricity or something like that. We're always putting a little bit aside each month to cover those bills, and that's what we use our sinking funds for. Now, the other thing that we do that is really helpful is we use a combination of cash and digital payments to help us manage our money throughout the month. So you'll see over here on the side, I've actually marked the things that are direct deposits, and I've scheduled them to go directly out of our bank. I've also marked what is going to be cash, and I've highlighted those on the side so that I can add up and work out how much cash I need to withdraw for our cash envelopes. And we've really found that this hybrid system works really well for us. We use cash for the categories that we know we can easily blow out, particularly if we are just tapping and swiping on our card. It's much easier for me to track because I'm not great at recording every purchase we make. Now I know that, so cash makes it easier for me to see exactly how much we have left to spend in a certain category, such as groceries or personal spending money, because I can just look in the envelope and see how much I have left to spend. I don't necessarily need to know exactly how much I spent on each transaction, so long as we stay within our budgeted amount. So for this month, we have budgeted $700 for groceries. We will pull that out in cash. We will split that between our 2 cash groceries envelopes. So I put half aside for the second half of the month to make sure I don't spend too much. But basically, I can just have a quick look in our cash envelopes and I can see how much I have left to spend for the rest of the month. In the next video, I'll actually be filling our cash envelopes so you can see exactly what we are allocating in each of our cash envelopes. But as far as our January 2020 budgets goes, we have made a few changes from last year that I'm just going to quickly point out to you guys, but a lot of this stuff pretty much stays the same. I do visit our master budget calculations twice a year just to make sure that we are putting enough aside in our sinking funds. But a lot of this now is really evened out because we use our sinking funds just to save a little bit each month to make sure that we can cover those big expenses when they come up. So basically the top half of our budget pretty much stays the same month to month. We make sure that things that are really important to us, like paying into our retirement and doing some extra savings, goes to the top of our budget. And then we know we can play with the numbers at the bottom of our budget because they're not what we would class as our necessities. This year, we do have a few big savings goals that we have happening. So where we can slot those in, we will. One of those is we will be adding to our travel savings fund, which is just a savings account that we have for travel, because we would like to go away and do something nice for our 10-year anniversary, which is coming up in September. The other thing that we are keeping in mind is that I do have some of my family, my host family, coming over from America. They will be here in the middle of the year. So we are making sure that we are putting some money aside for that as well, so that when they get here, we can take some time off, go and have some fun, and we don't have to worry about breaking the bank when that happens. We have a few smaller savings goals happening as well, and sometimes this will happen where we have personal goals or things that we'd like to have happen. I know Shan would like to replace his DJ mixer, so we are saving up to make that happen this year as well. So now that we have locked in our figures for the month of January, all I need to do is go ahead and withdraw the cash for our cash envelopes. And I have highlighted those down the side in green, so I know which ones are cash and how much cash I need to pull out. Then I will go ahead and transfer any funds to our sinking funds or savings accounts and go ahead and pay any bills that are due this month. And that is pretty much it for our January budget. I really don't have to touch this again until the end of the month when I sit down to do February's.
All right, so there you have it. So what did you think? Did you find this video useful? If you did, if you could please give it a thumbs up and let me know, I would really appreciate that. And don't forget to let me know in the comments what you would like me to do my next video on. What do you need help with when it comes to your budgeting or managing your family's finances? I have heaps of new videos in the works for you guys to help you get more bang for your buck so you can live the life you want. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and tick that little bell so you can be notified when my new videos are published. And you know what? If you're all about that budget life too, we should totally hang out. Why don't you come over and say good day? You can find me on Instagram or Facebook at Nikki Beale, and I would love to hang out and get to know you a little better. You'll find lots more daily tips and tidbits to help you budget better, demolish debt, and skyrocket your savings. And of course, updates on our goals and what's happening in our life and all that jazz. Well, I hope I see you in the next video. Bye.